one of the things when I first bought the Mavs, it was all new to me, right? So I was enjoying the moment, being a new owner, young, having fun. And I don't think I really took the time to appreciate just how special Dirk was on the court. And I'm not repeating that mistake with Luka.
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang!
27-point lead. Down goes Johnson. Three. Luka. Bullseye.
Oh, no.
Gobert is out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it!
The next day.
Massive trade happening in the NBA right now. The Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. It's a 3-team deal that includes Utah, according to our Shams Charania.
When it comes to the face of franchise, a cornerstone player, a guy who's in their prime of those credentials, they rarely if ever get traded, and if they do, it's because they're unhappy and want to be moved. Well, today we have a trade that rewrites all of NBA history, all the rules, and really breaks every precedent of things not to do as a GM. As of course the Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, their 26-year-old superstar, for Anthony Davis, an aging star who's also injury prone.
What have I done?
On the Dallas Mavericks side of this thing, just one of the most perplexing, odd trades that really makes no sense for their future. And why would they trade their guy Luka Doncic, who they drafted, built up, and who just last year made his first NBA Finals? And that right there, that's kind of the worst thing. The Kyrie-Luka duo last year's postseason, they were electric, on fire, and Luka himself had his best individual year just last season. As of course the Mavericks made their first final since 2011, the Luka-Kyrie duo got vindication, extremely clutch, highly effective. In the West Finals versus Gobert, the iconic dagger jump shot won the MVP. Also last year, a scoring champ, nearly 34 points per game, and of course versus the Hawks, put up 73. Last year, Luka Doncic as an individual, he looked better than ever and poised to take over the NBA. And in regards to the Kyrie-Luka duo, really the entire Mavericks team, everything was on the upswing despite a finals loss. And of course, why was that? Luka Doncic, your marquee superstar, was only 25 years old and theoretically would have numerous more cracks at to win a championship and give Dallas their second title in franchise history.
I don't think so.
And that right there is the biggest part of this. You're not only trading Luka Doncic to a mega superstar, you're trading a mega superstar who's in their prime, approaching their peak. In NBA history, you simply don't do this. You don't do it that guy's happy and wants to be on your team. And some of the reports I'm already seeing now is that Luka Doncic, he's overweight, out of shape, not taking things seriously, and those are some big time concerns. But here's the thing. Luka's overall talent ability overrides all those concerns. Could he be overweight, out of shape? I don't doubt it. But for someone like Luka, you gotta roll that dice, take that risk, that eventually he turns it around. And looking at one of Luka's mentors, the guy passing the torch, that of course is Dirk Nowitzki. And the Dirk we know nowadays, Hall of Famer, extremely clutch, and 2011 championship, one of the best of all time. But Dirk at 25-26, that wasn't the Dirk we'd eventually know. As Nowitzki at this point, never been to a finals, he made one West Finals, never first team All-NBA, and never sniffed an MVP. Dirk at 25-26 was an All-NBA player in the face of their franchise. Was he a mega superstar, peak Dirk yet? No, not really. So imagine back in the day trading Dirk Nowitzki at that very moment. Even for someone like Dirk, it'd be a massive mistake that you simply don't do. Because of course, Dirk, like Luka, not only a fantastic player, but is synonymous with the Dallas Mavericks. And that right there, that's my biggest problem with all this. It's not the bad trade, the details of the trade, or how it went down. It's the Mavericks fans themselves, who are very loyal fans, losing the face of their franchise. That to me, above all else, is the biggest crime in all this. Mavs management, the GM, betrayed Mavericks fans and betrayed Luka Doncic.
So this is it? After all we've been through.
And look, getting Anthony Davis back in return, when AD plays phenomenal player, I thought he was the best player in LA for a while now. But Davis really going team to team, winning championships, competing. It's just not the same thing as Luka Doncic being drafted in Dallas and really built up into their franchise cornerstone. And here's the perplexing thing. If Luka's health durability was so concerning, why would the one guy you're trading for be Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis' track record is far worse than Luka, and Davis is 32 years old, 6 years older than Luka Doncic. If Luka's health, durability, and weight was such a big time question, why would the one guy you trade for, his health and durability, be an even bigger question, and he's actually older than Luka Doncic by a whopping 6 years?
No idea.
And once again, looking back at Mavericks fans, in their entire team's history, they've had maybe 3 franchise guys who is Mark Aguirre, Dirk, then Luka, and that's really it. For the Lakers, they turn out Hall of Famers like it's nothing. And I'm not saying Lakers fans don't value those players, they certainly do. But for Mavs fans, they get one of those guys every 25 years. The Lakers get one of those guys every decade. And looking back through Lakers history, whether it be a Wilt, a Kareem, a Shaq, even Anthony Davis, they poach these players from teams, guys who were drafted, built up, then just kind of shipped off the Lakers to be stars there and become Hall of Famers. That above all else for Mavericks fans has the most heartbreaking thing in all this. The team he traded Luka to is the Lakers. Not only a big time rival, but a team historically who does this every single decade.
You can't keep getting away with it!
And I gotta ask the very obvious question, if Mark Cuban's still in charge of the Mavericks, he's the owner of the team, do you think this trade gets done? Me personally, I don't think it does. Mark was so invested in Luka, him being a Maverick for life, and really him being Dirk 2.0. This guy could have been 425 pounds, and Mark Cuban still wouldn't have traded him for the best player in the world. That's how much he valued the Mavericks, valued Luka Doncic, and he valued the fabric of their team and keeping their superstar players. Now, one last thing I do want to touch on, in terms of the Luka-Kyrie duo, of course last year's playoffs, box office must-see TV, and extremely clutch in every single round. To watch that duo thrive together, have so much chemistry, and then less than a year later, blow it up, trade Luka Doncic, that makes even less sense. And these two guys playing together post-finals, they played a total of 21 games together, going 13-8 in those games. The last time both Luka and Kyrie played together was Christmas Day versus the T-Wolves. And at that very moment, you could have asked anyone in America, do you think Luka Doncic would get traded? Do you think Kyrie would get traded? And the answer would be a resounding no. And if anything, you'd say Kyrie probably gets dealt because Luka Doncic, he's off limits, untouchable, and a marquee player. Well, of course, we know that's not true. Nobody's untouchable, and the NBA, of course, is unpredictable. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.